If you're using the mono effects loop in your Line 6 Pod Go, let's have a look at where we should place it in the signal chain and what differences you're going to hear in the sound for when you move it around. Okay, so looking at my setup here, I have the Pod Go and I'm using a Nobles ODR1 overdrive, and I've just dialed up a clean Fender Deluxe Reverb style amp with a little reverb. And then we've also added a tube screamer, the Screamer 808, for stacking. So we're going to hear how that sounds. So first up, here is the preset clean. Okay. Then we're going to use the mono effects loop and add in the Nobles. All right, so if you see here on the preset, I have the effects loop before the amp, and then that's going in before the tube screamer I have here because I'm going to stack the tube screamer. But let's say I move the mono effects loop block, and let's put it after the amp. Let's hear how that sounds. Okay. Big drop in volume. Now you can fix certain situations like that by increasing the send level or the return level. But for me personally, I just want to plug the pedal in to this loop and have the button on or off. You know, like I'll set the level on the pedal in conjunction with the rest of my signal, and that's it. You know, I don't want to go fussing around with the send and return level, but you can hear. So let's put that back to where it was. We'll move it after the amp. Let's move it after the cabinet. Okay, so a little difference there too. So my recommendation for this kind of effect anyways, if it's a modulation or say a delay or reverb, then maybe definitely put it after the cabinet. It's going to sound better. Just like, you know, you have your modulations and delays usually after the amp and cab in your signal chain. Anyways, well, that's not the rule. That's just how I like to have it. And I think it sounds best, but that's just my opinion. Let's move the loop back. All right, so we've got our drive and our loop before the amp. Let's stack the tube screamer. Okay, so that's it. I just wanted to show you, you know, how the placement of the mono effects loop in your chain, you know, in this case it's a drive, how it can sound different and it can be affected. And yes, you can up the send and returns, right? As I showed you earlier, you can increase these levels, but you know, as I said, I just want to plug it, play, assign the foot switch to it, and let's get on, you know, let's get on to playing some music, right? So again, try it with different effects. I mean, now if you're putting in, let's say you have a delay and a distortion here going into this loop, well, then, you know, your option might, you might want to have a different loop, you know, like there's a stereo effects loop. That's obviously for stereo effects pedals, but if you have a couple of pedals, again, that's going to be different as well, because if you move, you know, you have the drive and the delay going into this effect loop, well, now the delay is in front of the amp, all right? But if you move it after the amp, well, then your drive's going with it too. So play around with it, but it is important, okay? So where you place that mono effects loop block does matter, okay? So I hope this helps you out. If you like the video, guys, hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe. And I hope you've been enjoying some of the Christmas ditties I've been posting. It's just for fun, you know, just to have some fun. It's festive season. I like being festive, all right? So take care, and we'll see you in the next video.